Runk.
Here we go. It is episode 440 of Congratulations. So it's episode 440, and that's it. You know, I realize that I wear shorts in this podcast sometimes, and I simply don't like the fact that you can sometimes see my knees, okay? I have fine knees, they're okay, but my whole, from knee down, I'm basically like I'm like a, you remember, you ever see like, sometimes you see like a black guy's shins and you're like, whoa, real thin for what I thought. That's what I'm like. So there we go. Like, you know, but very, very, very athletic, but not athletic. So I'm not athletic. So I'm cool. I look like an athletic, like I have an athletic knee down athletic black guy shins. So there we go. And that means it means something, and it's okay. You know, it is what it is, but I am, this is episode 440. Isn't that great, man? I like doing this podcast. I started thinking about like all the guys who do podcasts and how they have like guests, like other comedians too, you know, or they have like two comedians. And I'm like, that's cool. And then I think of how much I don't want to have guests, because I see other guys that have like, you know, like now Theo has Zuckerberg and stuff, and I just, what do you ask them? What do you ask them? Like I'm not interested, you know, and that sucks for me. It's not, you know. I remember I was talking to somebody, they're like, why don't you have guests? And I was like, I don't want them to be coming to where I am. I don't want to have to think about interviewing them. It's just, what about if I don't like them? You know? What if they're like, oh, well, what if somebody's like, oh, you know, the singer from Yada Yada is a fan. They want to do the show. And I'm just like, oh, I don't care. And I don't think I'm, what do you call it? Not shooting myself in the foot. I don't think I'm self-sabotaging, because I understand it's way harder to build a podcast if it's just you talking. But I don't know, man. And that's not to say I would like to have conversations with some people, but it's just, I don't know. It's what I was thinking about. But anyway, my knees show on the podcast sometimes, and that's a huge problem. So that's what I'm thinking about more than guests on the podcast. But I will say, though, that I will be in New York this Friday, and then Boston. I think Boston's sold out, but Boston is May 3rd. Savannah, Georgia, May 9th. May 10th, Atlanta, Georgia. Then I got Winnipeg, Regina. That's how you say it, right? Saskatoon. A bunch of different dates. I put up a bunch of cool dates too. I'm going to Waco, chrislea.com, trying to get this cult, the Branch Davidians back going. Dude, I just saw the thing on Netflix, the Waco guy, the David Koresh or whatever. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. I mean, if the ATF shot first, or if they were out there going like, pretending like there were gunshots, and then, I don't know, dude. I mean, look, probably what was going on in there was nefarious and not good anyway, you know? I know that they had illegal guns, so okay there. And they were doing some, you know, the guy had like 17 wives, and that's not good. But, you know, if the ATF shot first, that's all I'm saying, dude. And then because of that, the Oklahoma bombing happened. So that's correct. That's absolutely terrible. That's absolutely terrible. I'm gonna be in Syracuse for some reason. But it's hot here now, and I was just in where the heck? You know what, dude? My memory, I need to take more Magic Mind, which I take my Magic Mind every day, and I love Magic Mind. But I was watching a movie last night, okay? and it's called 4x4. This is how a gangster I am. Okay, this movie, it says new movie that came out, Locked, starring Anthony Hopkins and the guy who plays Pennywise. Okay, is it the Sarsgaard guy? Whenever I don't know a guy's name and he's white, his last name is Sarsgaard. And so I go to the page because I go, this looks like it might be up my alley. It's got a poster where it looks like they're in trouble and a car is superimposed on it, and it looks like it's an awful name, Locked. But and so I go, maybe let me click on this. I like Anthony Hopkins, and then I go and click on it, and under it, I always look under it, dude. Are you like me? Do you look under it? You know what I'm saying? Are you like, what else is like this? Because maybe, just maybe, this isn't the movie that I actually want to see. Maybe the movie that I actually want to see is under it, right? So I look under it, and there's a movie called 4x4. And I go click on that. And it's the same movie, only it was made in, like, Mexico or something. I don't know. It was Spanish speaking. So I go, okay, well, this was made in 2019. Hey, Hollywood, hey, kiss my ass. I'm going to watch the Buenos Aires version or whatever it is, right? I don't know. Colombian, I have no idea. Cuban, I don't know. I don't know where they made the movie, but they spoke Spanish. I'm going to watch the Buenos Aires version, whatever it is. And so I turn it on, okay? I turn it on and I watch the movie. And the movie, it's gotten a lot of good reviews. The movie's fine, but there's a part at the end, I'm not going to spoil it. Watch the movie if you want, whatever. But there's a part at the end, and this has nothing, I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about me here, okay? There's a part of the movie where this negotiator shows up and tries to negotiate. By the way, I bet every guy thinks that he would be a good negotiator. Like I was watching the Waco guys, and they had the negotiation team and the guy, and then they had the other. They have basically, when they did Waco, I'm going back and forth there, but when they had the Waco guys, they brought in the big muscle guys to go save the day, and the negotiators. And the negotiators were like, "We got this. Don't go in guns blazing." And the other guys were like, "Well, actually, we just want to save the women and children and shoot everybody." So David Koresh was like, hey, negotiators, your guys are encroaching. And the negotiators are like, well, those are not our guys. They have a different agenda than us, but please just listen. I kind of understand, why 80 people died. But so anyway, so I'm looking at the show, I've been watching a lot of negotiating stuff, I guess. So I'm watching the movie. And the negotiators telling, they have that thing where there's always the part in the movie where the guy's just like, tells a story and does a monologue. It's usually like Al Pacino, right? Like he'll just be like, I used to play tennis, when I was a little boy, and you're like, this is the movie about the mafia. I had a nice racket, That was about all I had. Didn't have talent. Every summer I would try, but always get beat. Anyway, you're whacked. Bang, and you're like, it didn't really make sense. But so this negotiator starts telling a story to the criminal, okay? And he starts telling a story about a kid, and then it ends up that he was the kid, all right? It's been done before a million times, okay? I listen to the story, and I go, man, this story rips. And then I go, how did the story start? And I can't remember, okay? I can't remember. And it happened 1 minute before that. And the rest of the movie, all I'm doing is wondering what the beginning of that story was. And I still don't know, dude. And it's really bothering me. And guess what I'm not doing? My mind? I'm not going back and watching the movie because you're in my mind and you'll figure it out. And you're not making me go back and watch the movie again. I really want to know. I'll ask ChatGPT maybe, but my mind is my mind, and it should just be, I should just know, you know? It really bothers me when someone's telling you a story and you forget the beginning of it. God, that is stupid. Come on, Magic Mind. So anyway, the reason why I started talking about this is I can't remember the stories because I can't even remember where I was yesterday. Dude, where honestly, I flew in from where? Where did I fly in from? Denver. Remembered. Yes, dude. Nothing gets by me except for the beginning of that story in that movie 4x4. I was in Denver, and let me just tell you something. When you realize. So I went to Casper, Wyoming. Where is it? And then I went to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Where is it? And then I went to Denver, okay? Now, Denver's an hour away from Cheyenne, so Cheyenne, just be Denver, right? Okay? I know you're in a different state, but just have a city that spans over more than one state, okay? Have it go over the borderline, all right? Because it's, just make it really big. If it's an hour, Cheyenne is the capital of Wyoming, and then Denver's an hour south. Just make Colorado all of it, all right? So I did Casper, Wyoming. Where is it? And then I did Cheyenne. Okay, and those places are like kind of bumfuck, especially Casper. The shows were great, right? But especially Casper, this is bumfuck, right? Like, why was I there? And so then I get to Denver, and I realize something. Denver's a city, okay, and that's not what I realized. I knew that Denver's a city, and I'm walking around, and I'm looking for like a coffee. And I see like a guy with too many clothes on, and maybe he's homeless, you know what I'm saying? And then I see some people who run by, they're working out, I guess jogging, And then I see some workers coming off of the back of a van, and it's doop, doop, doop. And I realize that I'm changing. Okay? I don't want to be in cities anymore. I'm officially at the age where get me the fuck away from all these people. Like, yes, dude! It's like, I don't want, you know where I want to be? A place where there's less gum on the walls, right? Like, it's going to be stinky. Someone's going to come up and talk to me. Look, I don't even mean because they might be a fan. They might just come up and talk to me because they're there and I'm there. And I don't want that. And if it's in a city, it's going to be way less pleasant than when it's going to be in Cheyenne or Casper, because the people in Casper are going to be like, oh, you want the shirt off my back? Hey, everyone, spread out. It's nice as shit. And I get it when you're 19, 20, 21, or if you're sad and you're 50, you might want to be in a city because you're chasing something. But if you're 45 or 40 or something like that, dude, stop chasing. Move to the burbs. Just fucking get a nice block radius that you hang out in. And I realized that that's what I've been doing in the cities anyway when I was there. I wasn't really going anywhere. I was just living on top of people in buildings, having so many conversations that I didn't want to have because someone was there wearing too many clothes. And Denver isn't even a city like that. I have to go to New York on Friday and then Boston on Saturday. I can't imagine how many conversations I'm going to have, dude. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's me in Boston. Yeah, right. That's me in a city. Dude, it's how much is that you in a city? Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. The more people are around, the more you're agreeing with people. And you're not. You're just saying shit. Crazy, dude. Look what I got. This fucking hell yeah, dude. I do magic. Well, that's for the video. That's for the YouTubes, dude. That's for the YouTubes. But it's a zipline thing that it's whatever. Sorry if you're audio, but it's it's fine. You didn't miss a thing really, but that's for the YouTube people who watch. So yeah, I can't, these cities, it's just, but bro, I think the more I become myself, like speaking of Al Pacino, I've talked about this before, but like, an actor that becomes their acting instead of the characters, right? Like Al Pacino, if you were to watch him in The Godfather, he would just be like, "Don't ask me about my business, Kate." And now if Al Pacino's in a movie, he's like, "Pancakes, oh, oh my God, oh, you gotta have syrup," and you're like, what is this? And the director's like, the lines have nothing to do with pancakes. He's ad-libbing. You have to be reined in, right? And if you're someone who's not going to be reined in, i.e., me, you know what I mean? Just somebody that, somebody that is just going to be marching to the beat of their own drum. And maybe you are that person. Maybe you're not. And if you're not, I get why you listen to this podcast. And if you are, you're just going to become more crazy as you age and more yourself, which is worse. Hey, stop evolving, right? Because you're just going to get more annoying. You're going to be, I'm sure Al Pacino's cool, but like, you really want to be around him when he's just like, oh, you're probably like, God damn it, dude, rein it back a little bit. So what I'm saying is, I don't understand a lot of things sometimes. Somebody will say something on a text and I go, oh man, like in a group, this happens to me a lot, in a group text, and I go, fuck, I don't know what they mean. Like, and I remember the first time I ever felt this way. I really do. I was a teenager and I had to go to therapy. My parents were like, "You gotta go to therapy because you're fucking crazy." So I went to therapy, and it was my OCD. Really, they didn't understand what it was, but I went to therapy, and the therapist was like one of those therapists that never said shit. So I was like, "This sucks." It's like I'm in a fucking Tennessee Williams play. I'm just doing a monologue, and after the first session, he was like, "I want you to take this test." And I go, "Okay." And he's like, "It's a long test, but it's going to really help me understand who you are." And I'm like, "Well, you know what would understand me, how you are, is if you just fucking had a conversation with me, bud, and just didn't let me just talk about a bunch of shit," right? Like I was basically doing a podcast for him, okay? But he wanted me to take a test, so I took a test. I went home, and there were a bunch of questions, like, many questions. And the answers were all like a lot of the time, some of the time, or zero of the time. And then sometimes the answers were yes and no, okay? And you had to fill in the bubbles. And a lot of the questions that were yes and no, okay? I mean, there were like maybe 8 or 9 of them that I legitimately couldn't understand what they were trying to get at. Because they would say something very direct, and then I would think about it too much and not understand which way I was supposed to answer. It's like, well, I would be like, well, if I was hungry, it would be a different situation, or if somebody asks me this, and I'm trying, and so I left it blank, and I gave it back to him, and the next time he was like, "Yeah, you left a lot blank. I still don't know how you are," so anyway, I've been living with that, and a lot of people are like, "Bro, you're so annoying. Just please fucking, you know what I mean," and I don't. And maybe that means I'm on the spectrum. Maybe it does, dude. I have no idea, and I don't really care. It's fine. I get in a lot of arguments with my wife because of it, because I don't know what she's saying, and she thinks that I'm just, she's like, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't. Are you saying because it's been in the refrigerator? Or because I need to put it in the refrigerator? And then she'd be like, we're getting into the weeds. And I'm just like, baby, I live in the weeds. I'm in the weeds. This is me. Trying to figure shit out. So, I get a text. Oh, so I post. There's an Instagram for congratulations, okay? And it's called, let me pull it up right here so I know. It's called the Congratulations podcast. I started it. It's fairly new. Okay. And I post clips on there. All right. And so I have clips made from the producers here. All right. And then also, one of the elders, Rob Hay, who runs a channel for super good edits, right? It's called super good. Here it is, super good _edits, right? A lot of times he'll send me the clips from there and be like, yo, joint post it with me, but you post it first. So I'll be like, okay. So I put it on here. Now, my producer texts me. Yeah, no, I know, but this is all me, bro. My producer texts me. Okay, so the clip is the vertical potatoes clip. You know the vertical potatoes. What the flying shit? I put it on the thing, right? This is a clip, okay? And the producer, so I post it, okay? The producer texts me, where is vertical potatoes clip? Okay. Now, I'm reading this and I'm serious. I don't get what he's asking. Okay. Because I posted it. and you're asking about it, so you know I posted it. So you know where it is, all right? So this is where the first part I think of, okay? And then I go, but that can't be what he means because he's talking about it. He saw it, and then he asked me, where is it? If you see it, you know where it is, okay? So but I know I'm like this because of the thing I told you about the psychiatrist when I was in my teens. I don't understand things sometimes. And I'm reading the words. I'm looking at the words. I'm looking at the words like they're hieroglyphics. Like I'm looking like I'm trying to, like they mean something else. And I just can't do it. So I go like, so this is the voice note I sent to him. All right. This is what it's like being friends with me and working with me.
Can you be more specific? What do you mean? Because what do you mean, where is it? Like, it's on my Instagram. Is that what you mean?
Okay. So he says, where did you download it? All right. And I say, oh, I get it now. You want to know where I got it. And then I posted it because he wants to post it on TikTok, is what he said. Okay. And then he says, then he laughs out. He laughs. He says, LOL. And then I said this, and I bring this to you guys, the cult. I bring this to you guys, the podcast audience, because I want to know how many people are like me, because I don't think many here. Okay, here, and this is what I said.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't ask a question like that to me because I personally don't think that that's a correct way to answer a question, and I don't understand who would think immediately that they know what you mean. And I stand by that. Now, everyone always says I don't get things, right, and I get that. But that is an absolute crazy way to ask that question. Where is the vertical potatoes clip is a crazy way to ask that. That's just insane.
Now, I feel that, you know, I don't just say it. He says, but given who I am, you could extrapolate what I'm getting at. And then I said,
it's basically the same thing as saying, when I'm looking at the shirt you have on and saying, where is that shirt? I think it's actually worse. But
yeah,
even that
I do. I agree with you.
People will be like, what?
And then he sent me a voice note that said, well, given who I am, you could extrapolate that. No, that's what he said that on the text. And then I said,
No. Given who I am,
Yeah.
you need to know to not ask that question.
Right. Be specific.
To me, because that is dude, I don't get I don't get sentences like that.
I don't.
Like I'm actually I really don't. And maybe I'm autistic, bro.
Anyway, so we have that conversation, and we're laughing through it. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I think some people I'm learning are like, think that's like a dick. Like, we're laughing. We're guys, okay? Some people will be like, whoa, what a dick. But like, you just don't understand comedy, maybe? I don't know. So we're laughing, okay? Then my wife comes in the room, and she has a friend over, okay? And I say, hey, let me ask you something, okay? And I explain exactly what just went down, like I did with you, okay? Right here. And I say, I lead up to the part where he says, where is the vertical potatoes video? Okay. I tell him the story, and then I ask both of them. No, there were three people there. I asked the three of them, when he asked that question, what did you think he meant? And they all said, he probably wants to know where you downloaded it. And I was like, you thought that? And they all did. And dude, I'll tell you, it was a light bulb moment, because I said, okay, now, Kristen, do you understand? It must be so intense fucking living with me, dude. Because then I was like, so Kristen, this is what I mean when I say I don't get it. I think sometimes you think I'm doing stuff to be, you know, you say I'm in the weeds, but I genuinely don't understand things. And she's like, fine, it's 10:30. Can we just watch a show? And yes, we can, but we cannot peacefully in my mind if we don't talk about this before we choose which one to watch. So it's going to be. God, the more I have this podcast, the more I understand how fucking annoying it is to live with me. That sucks, dude. It is what it is, though, dude. I mean, here's another one. No, I want to talk about it. And I was like, maybe I won't talk about that on my podcast, but I'm going to talk about it. Okay. Dude, I got to fucking talk about this. And I'm going to send this link to him because it was so fucking funny. All right. All right. So this is to me. I thought about this for days. God. Okay. Let me get the guy. Let me get the text fields here. Okay. The hell is it? So there, you know, when you go to a place as a comedian, and you show up in a city, and you've been touring for 20 years, right? Okay. You have friends in cities, okay? Now, what I mean by that is people that text you that if they walked by you randomly, you wouldn't know who they are, okay? But for some reason, oh, there's George, and George somebody, and you go and they go, hey, you're gonna be in fucking Toronto, dude. Let me know if you want to get dinner. And you go and as a comedian, right, or as a musician or whatever, I'm sure it happens to not just comedians, but you go, oh, some guy that I've had some sort of experience with, and maybe I gave him my number, and I don't know who he is, so here's a text back, and you go, for sure, if I got time, shoo, and you don't mean it, right? Because it's just going to make it easier. There's a part of me that wants to go, send me a picture of who you are and how did we meet, but I don't want the guy to feel bad, right? And there's levels of it, right? There's levels of that guy, right? There's the guy that pressured you into giving his number. There's you go, okay, here, and then you just completely forget about him. And then there's other guys that every now and then you see them sometimes like after the show and whatever. Okay. So Denver comes, all right. It's the week of the show, the Denver show, and it was great. I loved it. I had such a good time. Okay, and look, this is the thing. I can't even find it in my text field, which means, and I have his name in my thing. And God, he is the nicest guy, and I really do enjoy talking to him. Where is it? I can't find. How come you can't find the shit you're looking for, man? What is that? There it is. I'm not gonna tell you his name, obviously, but he said he's a guy I keep in touch with. All right. Let me give this much. I've probably spent in total FaceTime with him. No, I don't mean FaceTime on the phone. I mean actual like in the same room with the person. I've probably been. We're talking 15 minutes total. No, you know what? If I would say less, 10 minutes total. All right. And we text. All right. So he texts me. Well, he texts me, "Hey, buddy, how's the new tour been?" And I say, "Hey, dude, it's been amazing." Okay. Now, I know this guy, and I have his number on my phone, and I have his name here. And I know him to be nice. So I write back, "Hey, dude, it's amazing." Okay. Then he writes me back, "I'm trying to find a dog sitter so I can come Saturday. Didn't realize the Denver show was coming up that quick." Right. So I just go that if you want to just, I have to have a conversation with this guy. As much as I want to be like, cool, let me know, I'll get you tickets. I can't. There's way more I have to understand about this. Okay. So I'm like, you have a dog, you need a dog sitter to go to the thing, but you're asking when I'm coming to your town. So what do you, and I'm doing all this shit and I'm driving and I'm like, why would you need a dog sitter? It's going to be a thing. You just go to the show and then come back from the show, right? and so I go, all right, I want to ask him this, or I say this is what I text him. I thought you live in Denver. Okay. Really putting it to him, really putting him back on his feet right here, right? He says, "I'm trying to find a dog sitter so I can come Saturday. Didn't realize the Denver show was coming up that quick." And I said, "I thought you live in Denver." Okay? That's what I write back to the guy. All right? Cuz I am, you know what I am? I'm shiesty, dude. I'm a little bit gangster and I will beat around the bush, right? I will beat around the bush. Okay? Because I want you to figure it out before the ending. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Like right before Kevin Spacey drops the coffee cup, you go, "He's Kaiser Soze." Right before. Now, Kevin Spacey doesn't drop. I know whoever drops the coffee cup, right? So I say, "I thought you live in Denver." And he says, "Yeah, I live in Denver. The show's this Saturday here, right?" And I write, "Yeah." And then he writes, "Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm trying to make it there, man. Would love to see you." I could now say, "Great, let me know, I'll get you tickets." As far as I'm concerned, this conversation is not over because you opened up, you know what you did? You opened up curiosity, okay? You opened up you know what you opened up? A fucking, it's like if you live so you live in the city of the place that I'm coming to. You want to come to the show. I've spent a total of 10 minutes with you, and you're telling me in the same city I'm performing that you live in, you're going to try and come, but you got to get a dog sitter.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Okay. So I am not thinking about anything but this. Okay. I'm laser focused and I cannot drop it. So I say to him, I've spent 10 minutes with this guy. Okay. I say to him, why would you need a dog sitter if you live in the city that I'm going to be in? I don't understand. Did you want to sleep in your chair at the theater afterwards? And he says, laughing, I can't leave them for longer than a few hours because we babied our dogs when they were young. And I wrote, or what? They start making bombs? Now, this is why I love I'm a comedian, because I am joking. I am being light with the guy, you know? Let me know. Let me get tickets. Anyway, we got him tickets. They showed up because, of course, why I need to know about the dog? Let the dog shit everywhere. Because I don't, Kristen, she got a dog. And I say she got a dog because I said, if you get a dog, you're potty training it. It's your dog. So when she says, I got to go, will you let the dog out? I get hot inside. I get it. That's the thing. I should have said, no, don't, please, we can't get a dog. But now my kids love it. He's cute, but I don't give a fuck. I have dogs and they're so hard to deal with. That's how I know I'm not a psychopath, because psychopaths love their dogs. And I like my dogs. Okay? Whoops. I'm just fucking all sorts of hot right now. Huh. People are interesting, huh? They're so interesting. Remember when your mom and dad wouldn't text? They're just like, what is that? And then now your mom is just like this when you hang out with her, watching Facebook. And you're like, oh, that shit changed. Now I haven't spoken to my mom in weeks, but we text all the time, right? How about how Pope Francis died and it's definitely because of J.D. Vance? That's crazy. Dude, the fucking memes of J.D. Vance are evolving so amazingly and phenomenally. And I love them so much. And why do I love them so much? There's something, dude, the J.D. Vance memes where his face is a little fatter for no reason are so great. And why? I mean, I love it. It's so funny. There's a page I follow that make J.D. Vance AI videos of him as Hellraiser. And I just follow it and I comb through it looking at it. And I smile so hard when I watch it. And sometimes I laugh. And it's like, I wish someone would just fucking do that for me, dude. I really do. I wish someone would just AI the shit out of me doing, a Hellraiser thing or or anything really. Maybe I'm getting murdered in Scream, the movie Scream. You know what I mean? I don't know. But J.D. Vance is so lucky, bro, that he gets memed and shit like that. It's funny, bro, those things. Oh, this was great. This was just fantastic.
I fuck hard.
Hold on. Right here.
I don't make love.
Hit.
I fuck
Hit.
hard.
Hard. That's not good. I can't express to you, like, I'm being honest, okay? And I want you to understand this. I cannot express to you how hard I don't fuck. I am so smooth with it, okay? I'm so nice with it. Like, and I don't mean, look, I might be bad at it, but it is very pleasant, okay? Me and my wife, that shit is just, nobody's getting fucked. You know what I mean? We are chilling, really, is what it is. And it feels extra good, right? So that's what sex with me is like. It's not, there is no, a lot of guys are like, I fuck so hard, dude. No, as a matter of fact, I don't even want to do that. And I never did. If somebody wanted to, if a hot woman came up to me in my heyday and was like, hey, let's do it, but it's got to be hard, I go, turned it down. No, I don't want to. I don't want to, bro. Can I be smooth with it, ma'am? Ma'am, I hear what you're saying. Can we not even just meet in the middle? Can I just be nice with it? Can it be smooth? No? Turned it down. I'm not, what do we got to prove, dude? And I've always been like that, bro. What do we got to prove? What do you got to prove, man? Also, it's exhausting. What? I already work out. I don't want to be out of breath except for the last moment. You know what I'm talking about? Whew. Wow. The whole time? What's going on, man? I think guys who have to really do it hard, I think if you've got a big member, you really don't. It's not important, bro. You know what I mean? Let me just instead fill you up. You know? Let me not even, you know what I'll do? I'm Mormon with it. I'll soak. I am basically in the sauna. Like, I will just, you know what I'll do? Chill. Hey, dude, if I could make love with my arms like this on the back of like a jacuzzi, I would do it. I am not the guy who is, don't come to me. If you want some leather jacket, Marlboro smoking, fuck. That is not me, man. And I have no misgivings about that. I don't feel bad about that. I have had sex with women in my past that have straight up been like, one time I was with this woman and I texted her afterwards, like a few days later, and I was like, yeah, it's fun. You know, if you want to hang again, let me know. And she wrote back, I don't know. You didn't like really like do it hard. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'm kind of into like guys that like will like, smash. And I'm like, oh yeah, all right. Well, yeah, that's nah. I'm nah. Yeah, all good. Hey, all gravy. Nah. I soak. I fucking soak, bro.
Boy, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
Like, I'm in a booth. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to go to a baseball game, I want to be in the box seats, right? I'm a soaker. I'm Mormon with it. Elder Chris. Hi, I'd like to talk to you about the Church of Latter-day Saints. You're into power fucking? I soak.
Boy, that's creepy. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. My goal would be, wow, like to just sit and I'm going to talk to my wife about this, to just like, no kind of no movement. Oh, that would be the shit. That would be so fun. Funny and fun. No movement, soaking for, I mean, I bet like tantric sex can be like that. No movement, soaking for, 8 minutes, and then just concentrating so much on like eye contact and your heart's beating that you, after 8 minutes, you make one move together and you just go, ha! And that's it, dude. That would be awesome. I'm telling you. Soak it. Bro. Fuck, man. Yeah. He's smooth with it. What do you want? He's fucking smooth with it. He's Mormon with it. What do you want? What do you want? He's a soaker. He's a super soaker. What do you want? God, remember super soakers with they got so, remember the water guns that were like the handheld ones, and then they just got bigger and bigger until like kids couldn't even carry them, and they had to have a backpack with water on it. Hey, it's not fun anymore. Hey, kid, get a regular one. Hey, don't have an apparatus, right? And just a big neon green kid just, shucking down up the driveway, just come on, I can't get you, because they have 45 pounds on their back. It's hilarious, dude. My brother couldn't even carry the shit. I would just wet him up, dude. I was just right there in his face, just pumping. And his backpack was falling off. He was falling backwards and shit. I don't, for the YouTube people, for the people who watch, I got my fucking zip string. Bro, my kids, this is one of those toys where I was like, my kids are going to love it. And I brought it home. And it's one of those toys where you can't just, if you're buying it, you're buying yourself to be you're buying time as a maintenance man, right? Like this breaks all the time. Well, it doesn't break. It's like you put the string in, it's got different strings, but it comes out when a 5-year-old's doing it, and you got to put it back in. And dude, you can't do shit, bro. I tried to watch the first episode of the Waco thing, and it took me 5 hours because he kept doing it. Man. My son's polite as shit though, bro. He'll straight up say thank you.
Have you said thank you once?
And but he will. And I love that. I don't know. I don't understand rowdy kids. Like you as a parent, you could fuck up so early, It's already too late. It's already too late. You have to start parenting when your wife is crowning. When the baby comes out, you gotta go, all right, so there's gonna be some ground rules. And you've only seen his head so far. I have boundaries, okay? Obviously, But it's like you parents fuck up so early. And you're going to fuck up doing something, right? Like for us, it's the food thing. It's like, God damn it. We gave him Cliff Bars when he was fucking 3 months old. And now, God, the guy just fucking wants Cliff Bars like it's cocaine. And I'm just like, baby, don't get Cliff Bars. So we don't have them. And she's like, yeah, but he wants them. And I'm like, this is the thing. It's a candy bar. And then she's like, no, it's not. It's got protein. And I'm like, oh, don't even be one of those fucking people, dude. Are you kidding me? It's a candy bar. It just got a guy rock climbing on the wrapper instead of a fucking, a cartoon guy with big eyes. It's not good. So now my kids are hooked on bars. That's Billy. Bar. Like he's the bird from fucking, what's that Pixar? Ma. That's what he says, bar though. And it's too late. It's too late. And I have to leave for the weekend sometimes. So I can't even imagine how many bars my kids, they're suckering out of my wife. Because I go, no. I say no. Billy says, bar. I say, no, not now. And he throws a fit. And I stand there, dude. It breaks my heart, but I don't want to, I don't want to be the reason why people get in cans. Anyway, it's hard. So my point is, when you see like a jerky kid out and about at like a mall doing like annoying shit to people, that parent fucked up so quickly. It's not like, oh, it took 2 years. They fucked up so, like, I think when the kid came out, they didn't do like a crucial thing. Like they didn't look at it in the eyes or something. I don't know. Or hold it against their chest. I don't know what it is. But like, and I hate to say it, but like, well, I don't know. I don't know how everyone isn't fucked up, honestly, because so much weird shit happens when you're a kid. But, dude, when you see a kid that's just running around, like, throwing shit, oh, my God, bro. That parent fucked up immediately. Here's what my next kid's going to hear first. All right, so there's going to be some ground rules. That's what he's going to... He, she, that's what... Whenever it is, if whenever it happens. All right, so... And push! Here it comes. Oh, here it... All right, okay, so let me crawl around it. There's going to be some ground rules, actually. Oh, and actually, look, it's a boy. So there's going to be some ground rules. I just want you to know that. Here, let me do chest to chest. Let me do skin to skin. Oh, there's going to be some ground rules. Isn't that sweet? You want it, sweetie? Here, put it on yours. There we go. But there's going to be some ground rules. Oh, let's take a pic. There's going to be some ground rules. Isn't that sweet? So I don't have a jerky kid, dude. Because these 5-6-year-olds going crazy. And I tell my son, I go, hey, come here. We're not doing that. Oh, what's up? What's up with these parents, man? I don't know. But then again, God, when I see those things, like when I see like the because I was watching the Waco, Texas thing, and it's like there were so many women and children in that compound that they were like they had to get out and they had to save the children. And I get that notion, because you don't want to be the reason why a 3-year-old, can't get out of that situation. And then I immediately go to, oh man, you're saving that kid so they can be a 50-year-old asshole one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point is it to where you go? Because, we let, they're innocent, yes, and they shit their pants and they cry at the drop of a hat and they have to figure out life, right? And and you want to save them so they're important, right? They're you know what they are? They're the future. But hey, the future sucks, right? You know how I know it sucks? Because we didn't know there was going to be Jeff Bezos, and now there's Jeff Bezos. Back then, we could have been like, it's going to suck. We have got to hear his laugh all the time, or the Kardashians. Fuck, that's a show now. Shit. I got to drive down a fucking Sunset Boulevard, and now I got to see a Skims shop. Fuck. That's how I know the future sucks, because that didn't happen once. And then, whoops, it happened. That was the future. Fuck. I don't know.
I don't make love.
I do. That's all I do, and that's all I've ever done. If you want to have sex and if you want to, you want any of that shit, and I soak. My wife vouches. I soak. So, what do you want from me, man? It's broken already. My wife vouches for me. I soak. Dude, my wife vouches for me. I soak. That right there is the dorkiest thing you can possibly do. Is be like, my wife vouches for me. I soak. If you want somebody to drill it or smash, I'm not your guy. But I soak. My wife vouches for me. Sweetie, I soak, right? I don't do much movement when we make love. It's too exhausting, right? What do we got to prove? And I'll tell you, what do we... We got nothing to prove, right? We're both fit. It's not that we don't have the stamina. It's just we like to, we're Mormon with it.
I fuck.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Go to crystalia.com. I'll be in New York, and I'll be in Atlanta, and I'll be in Savannah. I appreciate you guys. crystalia.com. 4 tickets. Thanks.